Discipline is the invisible bridge between who you are and who you want to become. It is the force that moves a person from intention to execution, from dreams to reality. While motivation feels good, it's fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind. But discipline, true, iron-willed discipline, is steady. It does not wait for good moods. It does not ask for the weather to be right or for the emotions to align. It is a frequency. It moves forward regardless of how you feel. And that is the very reason it leads to greatness. Most people fail not because they lack the ability or resources, but because they wait. They wait for motivation to strike, for some magical moment when everything feels just right. But those moments are rare. Life will never hand you a perfect setting to begin. If you wait for motivation, you'll keep waiting. But if you train yourself to act, especially when it's difficult, then you take control of your destiny. This is where discipline separates the strong from the weak. When you force yourself to act despite resistance, you condition your mind to obey your will instead of your mood. The problem with relying on motivation is that it's emotional. It's tied to feelings, and feelings change with sleep, weather, diet, stress, and countless other variables. One day you feel fired up, the next day drained. Frequency, this inconsistency is what traps people in cycles. They make progress when they feel good, and they crash when they don't. Discipline breaks that cycle. It says, it doesn't matter how I feel, I will act anyway. That level of consistency compounds over time. It's not just what you do once or twice. It's what you force yourself to do every single day, especially when it's uncomfortable. What is a frequency? Doing the hard thing when you don't want to do it is the moment you take control of your life. That's when you gain self-respect. That's when you stop being a slave to your excuses and start becoming the architect of your future. It's in the cold early mornings, is a frequency. The silent late nights, the lonely decisions to do the right thing when no one's watching. That's where character is built. Is a frequency. Discipline is doing what's necessary, not what's convenient. Every time you override the voice in your head that says later, I'm tired, or I don't feel like it, you grow stronger. You develop a new internal standard. You become the kind of person who follows through, not occasionally, but relentlessly. You can see you no longer act based on external circumstances. You act based on inner command. That's real power. That's a frequency. That's what separates average from exceptional. Those who win in life are not those who always feel inspired. They are those who have trained themselves to execute without permission from their emotions. Wealth is a frequency. They have developed the habit of doing hard things, not because it's fun, but because they understand it's necessary. They know that discomfort is the price of excellence, and they are willing to pay that price again and again. So, stop waiting. Stop negotiating with your feelings. Decide today that you will act whether you want to or not. Do the thing even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. That's when it matters most. You don't need more motivation. You need more discipline. And the way you build it is by forcing yourself daily to do what must be done. This is the path. This is the power. Choose discipline, and success has no choice but to follow. Hard things are not roadblocks. They are invitations. Challenges placed in your path, not to stop you, but to shape you. Most people see difficulty and immediately retreat, assuming that struggle is a sign to turn back. But those who understand the laws of growth know the opposite to be true. The hard thing is the path. The very moment you feel resistance, fear, well, is a frequency, or discomfort that is your signal that you are standing at the edge of transformation. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens by deliberate confrontation with discomfort. Everything you desire, success, confidence, strength, freedom, lies behind a wall of difficulty. That wall cannot be bypassed or skipped. It must be climbed. You cannot become more without doing more. The body you want, the discipline you admire in others, the confidence you envy, they are all the byproduct of facing hard things head on, consistently and without excuse. You can read, listen, and visualize all you want, but until you do the difficult thing, you remain the same. And the truth is, your current level of comfort is exactly equal to the level of growth you've been willing to accept. If you want more frequency, you have to go endure more. Avoiding hard things is a decision to stay small. You can't hope for massive change while avoiding the very process that causes it. If something is uncomfortable, it means it's stretching you, is a frequency. That pain, that struggle, that moment when you want to quit. That's the moment you're actually growing. It's not the success at the end that changes you. It's the fight to get there. The transformation is in the effort, in the sweat. In the moment you're unsure but continue anyway. Every hard thing you conquer adds a layer of confidence to your identity. It rewrites the story you tell yourself about who you are. Hard things reveal who you really are. When everything is easy, you don't grow. You coast. But when you're tested, when you have to wake up early, push through fatigue, keep going despite failure, that's when your real self shows up. And if you show up consistently in those moments, you become a different person, someone others admire, but more importantly, someone you admire. Because you'll know you didn't just wish for strength. You earned it. Think of the greatest achievers in any field. They are not the most talented. They are the ones who have taught themselves to lean into difficulty rather than run from it. They have formed the habit of pushing limits. Day after day, they don't wait to feel ready. They don't seek the easiest path. They do the hard thing first, and that's why they rise. Their success is not magic. It's muscle, built through repetition of difficult actions. If you ever wonder why you feel stuck, wealth of frequency, look at the hard things you've been avoiding. That phone call you don't want to make, the work you keep putting off, the tough conversation you need to have. Those are not just chores. They are keys. Every difficult task you complete opens another door inside of you. The more doors you open, the more power you access. The hard thing is never just about the task itself. It's about the kind of person you become by doing it. The discipline you develop. The pride you feel. The belief that you can do even more. And each time you take on the next hard challenge, you prove to yourself that you are no longer someone who hesitates. You are someone who conquers. So do not fear difficulty. Welcome it. Hunt it. And when it arrives, smile. Because you know that it is there to make you stronger, wiser, and ultimately unstoppable. Comfort is seductive. It whispers promises of rest, ease, and pleasure. It offers you the illusion of safety, the illusion of contentment. But what it never tells you is the price you pay for staying there. Comfort kills dreams. It lulls you into a passive life, one where you stop reaching, stop pushing, and eventually stop believing. You weren't born to be safe. You were born to rise. And that rise does not happen in the arms of comfort. It happens in the grip of discomfort and challenge. Look around at anyone who is average, stuck, or unfulfilled, and you will see a life that has chosen comfort over growth. These are people who do just enough to get by, who avoid struggle, who fear the pain of effort more than the pain of regret. They are comfortable in their habits, comfortable in their excuses, and comfortable in their limitations. But they are also quietly frustrated, silently unfulfilled, and spiritually restless. Because deep down, they know there's a frequency. They know they could be more. But they've chosen the easier path, is a frequency. The problem is not that people don't want success. It's that they want it without the suffering. They want results without the resistance. Wealth is a frequency, but it doesn't work that way. There is no growth without friction, no breakthrough without pressure. You cannot build strength if you never push against your limits. Comfort may feel good in the moment, but it slowly robs you of your edge. It dulls your hunger, numbs your ambition, and makes you forget what you're capable of. The greatest danger of comfort is that it feels harmless. It disguises itself as self-care, as balance, as normalcy. But comfort is not neutral. It is pulling you backwards while pretending to hold you still. And every time you choose it over the harder path, you lose a piece of your potential. That potential doesn't disappear. It's just a frequency. It just becomes harder to reach. The longer you stay comfortable, the more distant your best self becomes. There is a lie that says you should wait until you feel ready, until life calms down, until things align. But that's a trap. Life will never perfectly align. You will never feel completely ready. The conditions you're waiting for are just another form of comfort. If you want to grow, you must take action in spite of discomfort. You must deliberately choose the harder route, not because it's painful, but because it's the only path that leads upward. The uncomfortable choice is always the one that leads to transformation. Waking up early to train, saying no to distraction, facing your fears, speaking your truth, taking risks. These actions stretch you, and in the stretch, you grow. That's the process. It's uncomfortable. It's inconvenient. But it's the only way to become strong, clear, and unshakable. Is a frequency. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you reclaim a piece of your power. You start to build a new identity. Someone who acts regardless of fear, someone who shows up even when it's hard, is a frequency. And that version of you is who will carry you toward everything you've ever wanted. But you won't meet that version inside your comfort zone. You'll meet them on the other side of discomfort, where most people quit. But where you continue, you must learn to see comfort as the real enemy, not because rest is bad, but because unchecked comfort becomes a habit, and habits become a life. If you keep choosing comfort, your life will reflect that choice. But if you learn to embrace discomfort, to seek it, to live in it, then your life will rise, your standards will rise, and you as a person will rise. So reject comfort as your default. Don't aim for what's easy. Aim for what makes you evolve. Comfort may feel good now, but greatness feels better forever. Every day, you're writing the story of your life, and the words you're using are not made of ink. They're made of your daily decisions. The smallest choices, the ones that seem insignificant in the moment, are actually the bricks that build the foundation of your destiny. People often think their future will be shaped by one major opportunity, one big break, or one lucky moment. But that's a lie we tell ourselves to avoid responsibility. The truth is much simpler, yet more powerful. Your life becomes a reflection of the small, hard decisions you make consistently over time. It's not what you do once that matters. It's what you do repeatedly. Waking up early one day won't change your life, but doing it for a year will. Reading one book won't transform your mindset, but building a habit of feeding your mind daily will. Choosing to exercise once won't change your health, but showing up every day, especially when you don't want to, will rebuild your body and your character. Your destiny doesn't unfold all at once. It unfolds one disciplined act at a time. Most people don't realize how powerful their daily choices are because the results don't show immediately. You skip a workout today, nothing happens. You hit snooze and sleep in, no disaster. You put off your goal for one more day, no major consequence. But what you're really doing is shaping who you are becoming. Every decision you make is a vote for the person you're choosing to be. And over time, those votes accumulate. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your standards. And your standards are built by your habits. People want to believe in fate or luck because it gives them a reason not to take full control. But real power comes when you realize you are not a victim of life. You are a creator of it. The question is, what are you creating with your daily actions? Are you building discipline or weakening it? Are you moving closer to your goals or further away? The answer isn't found in your words or intentions. It's found in your routine. If you want to change your life, don't wait for a new year or a fresh start. Change one decision today, then do it again tomorrow, then again the next day. Stack the wins, one on top of the other. Let momentum become your ally. Let consistency become your edge. Greatness is not explosive. It is cumulative. The champions, the leaders, the success stories, they are all the result of small, unglamorous, difficult decisions repeated long enough to yield results that others call extraordinary. Don't underestimate the power of a single choice. One choice to face discomfort instead of avoiding it. One choice to speak up instead of staying silent. One choice to act instead of procrastinate. That one moment could be the spark that shifts your entire direction. But only if you keep choosing it again and again, long after the emotion of the moment fades. Discipline doesn't come from motivation. It comes from commitment. And commitment shows itself when no one's watching, when there's no applause, when it's boring, when it's hard. Those moments define you more than anything else. And the beauty of this truth is that it gives you control. You don't have to wait on anyone. You don't need anyone's permission. Your daily decisions are yours and yours alone. So take ownership of them. Be relentless about them. Choose the action that serves your future, not your comfort. Because in the end, your life won't be shaped by luck, fate, or circumstance. It will be shaped by the hard choices you were willing to make, day after day, when no one else was willing to. Your mind is a tool, a servant meant to obey your commands. Yet for most people, the mind has become the master. It dictates what they do, when they act, and how far they go. Feelings of fear, doubt, laziness, or distraction become the rulers of their day. But to achieve anything extraordinary, you must flip this relationship. You must lead your mind. You must become the commander, the one who gives the orders and expects them to be carried out, no matter the resistance within. It starts by understanding that your mind will resist effort. It will always look for the easiest path, the shortcut, the way out. This is not a flaw. It's a survival instinct, a leftover from a time when conserving energy meant living another day. But in today's world, that instinct keeps you small. It convinces you that comfort is good, that challenges are dangerous, and that you should always listen to your feelings. But feelings lie. Feelings change. And feelings, if left unchecked, will keep you locked in mediocrity. Leading your mind means you stop waiting for the right mood or the perfect conditions. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop giving your inner weakness a voice in the conversation. You set a standard for yourself and hold it. When your mind says, "I'm tired," you say, "I act anyway." When it says, "It's too hard," you say, "That's exactly why I must do it." When it whispers, "Maybe tomorrow," you say, "Now." This is the discipline of leadership over self, and it is the mark of all who rise above the ordinary. Understand this: the battle is not out there in the world. The true battle is within. It is between your higher self, the one that seeks growth, purpose, and greatness, and your lower self, the one that craves ease, pleasure, and safety. Every day, in every decision, one of them wins. The one that wins is the one you choose to feed. When you lead your mind, you feed the higher self. You train it like a soldier. And just like a soldier becomes stronger through training, your mind becomes sharper, stronger, and more disciplined with each act of self-command. This leadership of the mind doesn't happen once. It happens over and over, day after day, in the small moments. It happens when you force yourself to rise with the alarm instead of hitting snooze. It happens when you choose to focus instead of scroll, to work instead of delay, to speak truth instead of stay silent. Each small victory is a message to your mind, "I am in charge here." And over time, your mind learns to follow your lead. The beauty of leading your mind is that it frees you. Most people are prisoners of their thoughts. They are dragged through life by emotions they never question. But when you take charge, you create freedom. Freedom to act regardless of fear. Freedom to persist regardless of doubt. Freedom to create the future you want, not the one your feelings want in the moment. That is the highest form of power, self-mastery. No one is born with this ability. It is developed through practice. Every time you force yourself to act when it's hard, you strengthen it. Every time you choose the higher path, you build it. And soon, what once felt impossible becomes your new standard. The mind that once resisted now follows. The habits that once seemed difficult now feel natural. And the person you once only dreamed of becoming is now the person you are. This is the work. This is the victory. Lead your mind, and it will carry you to heights you never imagined possible. Let your mind lead you, and it will keep you trapped in the ordinary. The choice is always yours. Imagine a future version of yourself, strong, disciplined, confident, successful. That version of you is not some fantasy. It is entirely possible. But here's the truth that future self is watching you right now. It's watching every decision you make, every excuse you speak, every hard thing you either confront or avoid. The person you become in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, that person is shaped entirely by what you choose to do today. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now, in this very moment. There's a direct line connecting your present discipline to your future reality. Every time you choose to push through resistance, to do the hard thing, to honor your commitments, you're investing in that future self. And like any investment, the returns don't come immediately, but make no mistake, they come. The confidence you want, it's the return of showing up when it was hard. The results you seek, they're the payoff of consistent effort. The peace of mind and self-respect you crave. They're built through small victories over yourself, day after day. We often separate our present actions from our future life, as if they're not connected. But your life is not the result of one major decision. It is the accumulation of thousands of small ones. That's why every moment matters. The moment you skip the workout, hit snooze, avoid the project, lie to yourself, it matters. Not because of the single act, but because of the identity it reinforces. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you send a message to your future self. You don't matter enough for me to fight right now. But when you force yourself to act, when you show up tired, when you stay committed under pressure, when you do the hard thing because it must be done, you send the opposite message. I've got your back. I'm doing this for you. That future version of you is depending on your current discipline. It is relying on you to stop waiting and start building. It's not hoping you feel like it. It's counting on you to act anyway. When you truly grasp this, everything changes. You stop making excuses because you understand the cost. You stop avoiding effort because you see it as an investment. You stop living for the short-term feeling and start living for the long-term becoming. This is not about punishment. It's about purpose. It's about doing what needs to be done today so that your future self doesn't have to suffer for your current laziness, fear, or apathy. The future can be a beautiful place if you're willing to fight for it now. But if you neglect the present, if you live on autopilot, seek ease, and postpone growth, then your future self will pay the price. Regret is the heaviest burden, and it's born from choices not made, chances not taken, discipline not practiced. Don't be the one who looks back years from now wishing you had tried harder, acted sooner, believed deeper. Be the one who looks back with pride, knowing you made the tough calls. Be the one who wakes up in the future and thanks their past self for enduring, pushing, sacrificing, and showing up with purpose. You're not just living for today. You're building something that lasts. You're crafting a legacy, a life that reflects courage, consistency, and character. So when you feel tired, when the path gets difficult, when the voice in your head says it's okay to quit, remember who's watching. Remember that future self waiting for you to show up. Let that vision of who you can become give you the strength to do what needs to be done. Because in the end, your greatest reward won't be the money, the praise, or the status. It will be the unshakable pride of becoming the person you were always meant to be.